Frankie won. Take one.
What did he win?
Oh, I'll tell you what he won. Actually, you can. Fuck, why would I say it? What did you just win on the weekend?
Ooh, championship game, boys.
Yeah, not only did we just talk about a football movie last week, but we got our own football guy here.
Yeah.
Was it a Sunday?
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. But any given Saturday, too.
It was a good day, though.
Championship game.
Not a bad trophy, though.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking Frankie's on the Hennigans tonight.
Yeah, we had the belt in before. Now we have this glorious thing.
I can't smell him from here. He goes, you smell him?
Oh, it's potent.
Is that Hennigan's?
Yeah, I can't smell a thing. All right. Yeah, we got Mustache here. Yeah. He's been... Frankie here has been on our journey the whole way. Got to talk about the...
That's why the sound's so good. He's entirely responsible.
Yeah, he should be wearing your headphones. Want to pass those over? There you go.
Got one headlight out. Just keep that in mind.
He's got a long cord.
Oh, yeah, we'll get you some new ones, bro.
Yeah. But, yeah. How'd you come up with Mustache, anyways?
Did you start with must ache and then realize that together that made a word?
I did, actually. No, it's because a lot of people have just been saying, hey, that mustache, you're rocking it.
Yeah.
So I just leaned into it.
Yeah. People's been saying the same thing to me.
Did you just shave before the cast? I thought you had longer fur.
Tis the season. Guy named Mustache is in town.
Yeah, you're rocking it too, man.
Adam's got geniophobia, so I knew that he wouldn't be up to the challenge. But yeah, hope this movie didn't scare you too much.
Yeah, scared of the month of November as well, so it's like an all year round thing for me.
Goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But if I go like this, kinda.
Yeah. We just filmed a little diddly for your what would you call that?
I would say it was an hour-long private set. Yeah, down at Birch and Acre.
Kind of like you're gonna set it out as like a calling card.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A set of what?
Set of tracks. A set of music that speaks to you. It's like a puzzle. You got to find the right pieces to go together. Yeah. You guys helped out a lot with that.
Well, that's quite the puzzle you got visually with that 360 camera.
Yeah.
Like, I've only seen Kendrick use that. That shit was pretty wild.
Shout out to my buddy Phil for letting me use that camera.
Yeah. We're all about the shout-outs on Tired Masterminds. Making people tired-ites against their will.
I just got a producer in my ear real quick asking me if we clarified if he was... hold on, I'm looking at it. A music Ian?
A musician?
That might be it.
So what's your
Sorry,
title?
Spaced out.
Other than award-winning sound designer, what would you call Mustache? What's Mustache?
Facial.
What's he do?
Good question, man. I would say production. Getting really deep into the production these days, trying to find time for it, really leaning into that. But from the DJ side of things, man, drum and bass, like I said, it's always spoke to me.
Yeah.
Is it broken down in the stems or whiskers?
Mostly. Mostly stems.
It was, I felt that after listening to that hour straight of that set list, I felt like, when it comes to electric e-music,
e-music,
as Adam would call it,
rolled it on some
e-tape. That would be my genre. Like, I can't do the heavy shit anymore with all that dubstep we used to listen to. It just fucking rots your brain.
Dubstep? How old are you?
No, but I used to rave, man.
Hardcore,
Back in the day, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. But
Skrillex?
I can't do it anymore.
Remember Skrillex?
Yeah, he was a punk.
He had that cool video though.
Yeah.
Remember that
He had
one?
a couple of cool videos.
It was the girl. She had special powers.
I don't know.
She's like maybe down in like a
I'm
subway.
I'm talking about Caspa and Rusco, you millennial.
Yes, Pat and Russ.
Cockney thug.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And then Small World, Ashley King, another shout out to him, did a bunch of videos for Caspa over in the UK.
Was that him that he did it for?
Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's the first person I've ever heard do dubstep. And, Frankie might have been could say the same thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get spirited away here.
Hey.
But there's another reason why Frankie's here at whatever we call this. What do you want to talk about? The floor is yours.
You know what I want to talk about.
I got nothing here.
I want to talk about that.
We already have it up. I was wondering who's gonna spoil it, but Jamie's already got it set up for us.
That's fucking Bob Sacamano's DVD. That's a long time steal for me.
Bob Sacramento.
Yeah, he's the guy who we went to film school with.
Yeah, Adam's buddy.
Yes.
Would you ever date a bald woman?
No. Couldn't do it. Not for me.
Would you?
Alopecia?
Like,
Or intentional?
Does it matter?
Slap.
I think that question was counteractive to what you were trying to do. Come across like the sweetheart, but you're like a shit sandwich right now.
Yeah, I guess I was wondering if there's still going to be eyebrows.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at least I got eyebrows.
I was just trying to raise a question.
This is clearly like the non-beard side of the table.
Clearly.
And there's a lot of fucking shit going on over there, boys.
Things are getting hairy.
Did you guys
Really letting it go.
you guys ever take one of those to the opera? No? Should we tell Frankie what he's doing right now, or just let him go?
Oh, I think he knows what he's doing.
That's status battle shit. Frankie wins right off the hop.
For what?
We had this whole shtick that we were gonna, as soon as you start talking about the film, we were gonna start crunching on chips. And we thought you as an audio guy was gonna be totally against it. Which would beat us to the punch.
That's funny.
Power move.
Wow. No, I had no idea that was going to happen, boy.
Here, you gotta hear this.
That's some...
So live, we're making Frankie's new hit banger.
What?
Oh fuck!
Gold crumple.
You know how much we paid for that person to... Fuck. You know how much we paid the editor to blur out our coffees?
Oh.
Too much to be holding these out in the open.
It's on a condiment.
What do you mean? Like it's almost like Cracker Jacks where there's a prize inside? Say there's a condom in it?
Put one in your bag.
Used or?
Didn't check the bottom for previous openings, eh?
Man, at Frankie's house on the Super Bowl, sometimes I'm just like, it's weird how my brain works. I can be like so quick with a comeback. And Nathan was like, tried to call me out for opening up a bag of Doritos upside down. And I was just like, well, yeah, all the dust and stuff, all the flavor that's at the bottom, you open it and it falls back on the, you get all that flavor. He's like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. And then he was like, Monday, he was like, I did that. I was at a party, I opened them upside down, and people were asking me why I did that. And I was like, well, yeah, and he did the same snap.
Yeah. There's tricks like that with all the snaps. Like pop, I remember people used to squeeze the bottle because they thought it would stay less black.
I always tighten the bottle as much as I can. When Diana gets mad at me.
Status thing.
Can't open it?
You know,
Kind of like charging your phone in the microwave, isn't it? No?
are we gonna have to cut this part?
No, this is the same anyway.
Oh, do we have any of those needles from Itchy?
We're still in the We're still in the intro, aren't we? It's gonna be a long song. You can do. How long was that? Gotta have music the whole time.
Yeah, so it was a long time of that. Real long time.
Mm. 12 minutes? I already got that going. Okay, so we're in 2001 again. I think, Frankie's probably been in 2001 at least once, right? But we've visited the year a couple times now, but never for animation. What was Perfect Blue?
97, I think.
Oh,
Still ahead of its time.
we gotta switch coffees. Yeah, since I'm the only one who ever watched Perfect Blue.
And I'm AstroTurf.
I'll switch back, you bastard.
Cheers, guys.
So in 2001, quite a few heavy hitters came out in the animation world. Monsters Inc. Remember that, fellas?
Oh yeah.
Osmosis Jones. That jive turkey.
Yeah, learned a lot about anatomy from that.
Yeah. Learned a lot about Bill Murray.
Watched it with my first girlfriend.
Feel like I know Bill Murray inside out now. Atlantis.
Yeah.
I remember that movie coming up. Shrek is probably the biggest one.
That's
Like,
2001?
yeah. That was the time. I guess it was the right age for me that I watched Shrek. It's like, there's so much adult humor that the parents are liking this just as much as the kids, and that's how that game works. Is that you want a movie that the parents want to take the kids to. Like, it's so genius what they're doing with Toy Story, for instance. Like Toy Story 4. The parents are dragging the kid to the theater just because they want to watch it.
Yeah.
Or, kids nowadays don't give a fuck about Bo Peep. But let's grow up, fellas. Waking Life came out in 2001. One of the trippiest animations I've ever watched.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Watched that one quite a few times on all different sobrieties and non-sobrieties. If you never saw it in your boyhood, you're a slacker. That's what I gotta say.
I saw it when it came out, yeah.
When it came out. Okay. How old were you? When it came out, I would have been 10. No, but
Well,
we had no ageism.
I went to Monsters Inc. on a date.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So
I went to Monsters Inc. on like a school field trip.
So true.
nice.
Did you get laid after Monsters Inc.?
No, I was pretty awkward still, young.
Still are.
Yeah. But I did watch a bunch of movies with that chick, actually. Dazed and Confused for the first time.
Oh, one of the all-time greats.
All over the map.
Yeah. So I got fond memories.
Yeah. Another shout to Linklater.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch any of his Sunset movies or whatever?
It's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think I have. I know I can comfortably say that I don't remember the story of any of them.
Yeah.
Never seen.
Yeah. Did you watch Boyhood?
Nope.
You watched Dazed and Confused though,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
He's just so ambitious. Like Boyhood, he shot over 14 years or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that you watch the kid grow up.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was wild.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke, both great actors.
Yeah, write it down.
Well, yeah, don't. Yeah. Time is no object here. It's pretty
It's
early.
actually a construct.
Yeah. There you go. So Frankie, give us a little preview.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, I can't see it. What do we got up there?
Spirited Away?
Yeah.
Man. I'm glad we're doing this movie.
Yeah.
I am.
Well, we definitely, it's the first option that you threw at us.
Yeah.
So, how many episodes actually get preponed?
Yeah.
Eh? We're actually on a tired Tuesday right now.
So just to
Just waking up.
preface this on...
There we go. Someone do it.
So you saw this for the first time the other day.
Yesterday.
So you've managed to go several years after. Were you aware of it previously?
Oh, yeah. I've always heard of it.
Did you see any other Ghibli ones?
Ghibli bit? No. I actually... there's very few anime movies that I've watched. And this hasn't been one of them. But I've always had I've always seen like little clips. Like I definitely saw the characters before. I think there is another animation that I got confused and was like waiting for a couple characters that I've seen that weren't in this, that are obviously in something else. But yeah.
I have a tremendous amount of guilt surrounding this movie.
Oh really?
Well, because Bob loaned it to me, like in film school. And I remember, I think it was after I moved or something. He asked me if I still have them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where they were at the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't give it back. And then the end of Days struck. And so I watched it as part of a trilogy of movies. Because he also gave me North by Northwest, Incendies, the Denis Villeneuve one, and this. And so...
Well, how about he gives Lomez's hard drive back and then we'll talk.
That's true. I mean, there's outstanding debts everywhere.
Oh, shit.
Frankie's like, what kind of nerd fucking film freak shit is
Yeah,
this?
I'm going to drag him into it.
Do it. Oh, fuck. We got a whole new camera crew for season 3. And we already had to fire this guy because they didn't give me enough head. But what were you saying?
I was thinking season 3, salt, pepper, and what?
Cinnamon. What's that say?
That's good.
You are good on the fly.
Getting there.
Oh, this outstanding debt?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Dragging Frankie into it as well.
Yeah.
You got some books from some place you went to. Frankie was like, oh, what's that about? I'll borrow that. He was like Sticky Fingers and some other book. Rolling Stone or something.
Oh, man. Was it sound engineering? Was it a book on sound engineering?
Are you talking about Tropic of Cancer?
No.
Is this a real thing?
Do I have a book of yours?
I don't know. Is it the fucking Batman one? I've been looking for that. Someone's got that.
And you stole my Batman action figure right at my birthday party. So
That's true.
I'm gonna get you back for that.
Go
That's
on.
it.
That's fucking rude.
That's an outstanding debt.
Frankie's got fucking.
What year birthday party?
Oh man.
We were like 5 or something, and you want to tell the story?
No, go for it, man.
No, well, it's funny because you're just like, is that Liam?
We're at my 5-year-old birthday party.
Such a bastard.
It's at Bolarama. And we're in the kids' room. I have a whole movie of this. Pans over and see his dad over in the corner macking on some woman. It's great to see.
Yeah, smoking.
Smoking in the kids' room.
Nice.
Keeps panning over. It's me opening a gift. And I open it up. It's this Batman action figure. It's amazing. I'm like, oh, this is wicked. And Liam comes up and he's like, mine. Just takes it. Goes with it. Goes to the other side of the room.
No.
It's a gift that he gave me.
Yeah. That's the part that you missed. So it's like, but, I'm a kid, so my parents are buying this gift, so I'm like, that's what I would want. So they buy that, and I was like, well, I want to play with it.
Fuck yeah.
I remember this.
Well,
That's
it's
how I
totally
felt.
understandable. I remember giving a kid
sorry.
Lego once,
Sorry.
and I really wanted it back.
But then
Yeah.
I didn't know that the only Liam that I ever knew throughout my life was this Liam.
Yeah.
Until one day I'm in his place and he has a photograph of my class and I'm in the photograph and I look at him like, why the fuck do you have this?
Yeah. Because it was actually our class.
Because he was in that class. He's in the photo too.
So we've known each other since we were 5.
But he repressed it for several years.
Because all the...
Understandably.
Wouldn't it be awesome if I'm like, well, here is a Batman toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably stole my graphic. He probably has it. You're
I
the one
hope
that has
so.
my graphic novel, don't you?
I got some
You
stuff.
bastard.
What novel is it? Graphic novel.
It's the one that the guy that made the Joker, where he got mugged. Like, he already kind of, like, talks to the Joker and stuff.
Is it the one where he's crazy or something? It's
Yeah.
like not real.
And he talks to Batman, and Batman kind of
Yeah.
helps him out through a tough time.
Oh yeah, I read that one.
All in his head.
I gave it back though. I'm not convinced he's guilty.
All right. Let's not get spirited away. Did I already use that one?
It's a good one.
So-
though.
Yeah.
So, Spirited Away, would you say that's the part where the person goes into this world? What happens during the journey? Because there's a term
Yeah.
associated with this thing. You ever hear this one? Isekai?
No.
When somebody will just go somewhere and then all of a sudden, like...
It's like, hi!
yeah.
I can disappear.
I've never heard of that.
It's a popular trope.
Spirited away. She got spirited away.
I'm going to start using isekai.
Yeah.
It's like, hi.
I would say it is that moment, though. You know, she's floating over to another world.
Hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree. We'll go with A for 200. Do you got an answer? What do you think?
Yeah. I fact-checked it.
Not written on your hand or anything?
Yeah. I do not.
I fact-checked a couple things. Do you know, so Frankie, you kind of looked up some of the voices,
Yeah.
people who did the voices. Chihiro was done by the actress that was Samara in The Ring. And she also did
Oh,
It was Lilo.
Lilo and Stitch. And then was Samantha Darko.
no way.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch...
Donnie Darko's little daughter.
Did you ever...
Little sister.
Donnie Darko.
Who actually
yeah.
got a sequel, S. Darko.
S. Darko. Did you ever watch
No,
that?
I never saw it.
Oh.
I'm sure it's the
Like,
exact...
I love Donnie Darko.
I'm sure it's... I know you do. But I think that S. Darko is probably like Lost Girls.
It isn't.
Oh, it's
no.
good.
No. It's super disappointing. I don't remember how bad it is.
Lost Girls is good.
But it's almost like a one location thing. They get her and somebody else are like hitchhiking and end up in this little town, and they're like living at the motel or some spot.
Yeah.
But it mostly takes place around there, and there's like all the mystery kind of Donnie Darko is like she's like seeing a bus crash or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's done so ham-fistedly that it's just it's a Johnson across the table.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So what made you pick this film? Or how many times? When was the first time you watched this film?
Oof.
You
First
remember?
time, I don't remember the year. It's a couple years back for sure.
Not in 2001. Like
Not in 2001.
You saw it later on.
Yeah, came into it later on, and I was lit up watching it for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Terribly.
I was tempted.
Oh, but Ghibli was on your radar though for a long time, wasn't it? Didn't you grow up with some of these animations?
I did actually, yeah, but I didn't find that out until after I watched this one, and then started looking into the director.
Okay.
And then I found out that, for example, My Neighbor Totoro. That was a movie that I had on a VHS that I watched as a kid.
Totoso.
And Hayao Miyazaki was the one who directed that as well, but I didn't find that out until after I watched this one. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, do you know when that one came out? It was like the 80s or something, right?
Something crazy like that.
Yeah. I gotta go back and watch some of these things. Maybe I saw some as a kid.
I should probably see some of them.
I feel like I was missing out. I never even saw these kicking around on VHS. I just watched fucking American Tail a million times.
Well, I'm assuming that these were like be, and this is something that I'm gonna bring up a couple times later on, but comparison
Spoiler
to
alert.
like the Disney films that came out, like the Osmosis Jones and stuff like that,
Is that Disney?
where people like
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not fucking even
Could have been
Disney.
Pixar.
you know what I'm trying to say. They all go to the same meetings.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, man, I would say, like, I was looking up on the internet, best films in the world just to try and find something good to watch.
Yeah.
And it came up, highest grossing film in Japan.
Yeah, it does rank.
I was like, holy,
Does it?
okay.
I got no stats on it. I'm excited for this.
What's the highest grossing Disney film?
Ooh.
Lion King.
Think so?
That's not a bad guess, but...
What do you think the scariest Disney film is? I asked this and someone said Page Master, which might be,
Ooh, I love
Page Master Disney?
Yeah.
I'd say.
I haven't seen Page Master since it came out.
Everything was Disney back then. Like there wasn't any Pixar or anything like that. Was it?
Page Master's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Did you ever play the Super
Hey.
Nintendo game?
Do you want to take this down and we'll talk about Page
Confusing.
Master? Or?
I think I talked about Page Master before,
At one
actually.
point.
Do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
on Page Master.
Yeah, in the game, you would play it for a long time and it would like loop back. You wouldn't beat it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember playing it that long, but I was really confused.
Why isn't it ending? It just keeps going. and
Yeah, like it seemed it wasn't that long, right? So it made sense that it didn't end there.
Yeah.
But it also didn't progress. It just like looped back around.
Yeah, in Spirited Away, it won an Oscar.
Really?
For an animated film to do that back then, wild.
I think this is the first film that actually won an Oscar that we're talking about. Oh. Here you have it, season 3.
The only one we talked about.
Isn't that what I said?
But it's not the only Oscar on the podcast.
No?
No.
So, it starts off, young girl moving away. It's very clear at the start, it's about,
Moving away?
learning how to adapt in a place, feeling unwelcome. You know, very similar to like the opening of Lost Boys or something like that. Traveling with her parents. You know, the parents were played by. They were played by
Pigs.
Lauren Holly, who's
From Dumb and Dumber?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Samsonite?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And Michael Chiklis.
Ah, that checks out.
He's like
It's a little...
the strong man in American Horror Story season 4.
Oh yeah.
And he's in Gotham too.
The Shield.
Shield is what he's most known for.
There was another dude of that era that looked exactly like him too. I can't remember if Chiklis was Discount this guy or that guy was Discount Chiklis.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, it's hard.
I'm gonna
You guys get.
I'm gonna say Chiklis isn't the Discount because he was in an Oscar nominated or winner.
You guys get ever asked if you're someone else from time to time?
All the time.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
People mistake you for other people?
Yeah, Beaker
Fuck.
from the Muppets.
Status Ben. This guy's all about
Ben
the power move.
Stiller.
Ben Stiller? Yeah. I think I'm just like generic. It looks so generic that like people, like it would always happen. People would come up to me and be like, Glenn's son, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not me.
You should just lean right into it.
Yeah, no.
Fuck Glenn.
Sometimes I look at you and I'm just like, did they even put any work into this NPC? I was like, what? My simulation's running on fucking Windows 95 over here.
Yeah. Looking across the table at Adam it reminds me to shave my pubes.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for the bush.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Yo, so when did you watch it for your first time?
I knew you
Yesterday?
couldn't keep the mustache for long.
Yeah, I actually. Yeah,
He's going places with that thing.
yeah, it's going places in the fucking sink. I already cut myself. Yeah, glad it's off camera. It probably looks like I got a cold sore or something. It was post haste. I'm like, gotta go find my shirt. Just try to fucking save time.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's all about time. So yeah, very quickly do they like, all right, spell it out for you. This is what this movie's about. You know, it just in the dialogue, it's very obvious. And then it, you know, it's probably the first 10 minutes they're in this land, or they're eating bad chicken.
Yeah, I love that it kind of rushes into it. I think they're through that tunnel.
Yeah, I agree.
Isekai'd.
The more movies I see that just get right to it, I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
fucking do it. And I like Knock at the Cabin. You watched that?
Yep.
I loved that it was just like first 10 minutes. This is what's happened.
Exactly.
Chop chop.
Chop chop.
Yeah. Fucking. So what did happen? She's moving and they stop somewhere?
Oh, another big thing. You know, there's a lot of context behind her saying that, you know, my flowers are dying. It's like, well, I told you not to smother them. Like, yeah. There's all these little hidden messages in just like that first little drive, which I found very interesting.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't get spelled out for you as well in a like a Disney film, which like makes this more grounded already, because it is essentially like a Alice in Wonderland, which is funny because I was gonna say one cool thing about this film, that when you're looking through the looking glass, watching a film like we're trying to do for the podcast, just seeing like how in these animations how they simulate like actual camera movement and like pans and all this, like that in itself is like amazing, rather than just having all these locked off shots. You know what I mean?
No, I was gonna mention
This one has a lot of movement in it.
Yeah, and how like grounded the animation feels.
Yeah.
And I was gonna wait till a little bit later on, like to what really sunk in for me is she's like standing right in a corner, trying to get away from something.
Yeah.
And just like thinking of that minute space in animation, time and space just seemed so weird at that moment.
Yeah. What was like the first shot that in the spirit world that you were like, whoa, this is different?
Oh man, she gets over there. Haiku takes her through that back alleyway to get away.
Very, yeah. Okay, keep going.
That was the shot for me that it was like, okay, this is something different.
Yeah, very trusting. This guy just swoops in. And he's like, here, eat this and come with me. You'll be fine.
But he warns her first. Says, get the fuck out of here. Don't you see it's getting dark? And it's like right away.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like too easy. Here, eat this. Like, no?
There was some trust there.
Yeah. Like
It's
once
maybe some subconscious trust.
Once I was in Cape Breton and this girl was literally asleep standing up with her head back leaning against this wall. And there was all this commotion of like, who's going to look after this girl? Because she kind of woke up. And this one guy was like, I'll walk her to the hotel. I'll walk her to her hotel. And then me and Caitlin went to this other club. Or the only club in Cape Breton. And then we see that guy and we're like, what happened to that girl? And he's like, what girl? And we're like, what the fuck?
That's not good.
But I was sold when she went back to the restaurant and the parents were turning into pigs.
Yeah.
And Daddy got a slap across the mouth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, got a quick no soup for you.
Yeah.
And shout out to Wes. Wes thought of that. No soup for you.
I did not see that coming. Boo.
But yeah, at that point I was like, okay, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, they were really pigging out.
Yeah. Piggy. Oh, and do you know who Haku was played by?
No, I don't actually.
Jason Marsden.
Of cowboy fame.
You know, Eric's first friend?
In Boy Meets World?
Yeah. Think of that first season, he's a little guy that has like long hair in the front kind of thing.
Oh my god,
Picture
I remember this guy, yeah.
He's actually credited as Jason Marsden, like he used his own name in Boy Meets World.
Oh, really? It's his character?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And he kind of transitioned into voice acting because he does have a face for radio, let's face it.
Was he a cowboy in something not too long ago?
Hope not. He was like very first season.
No, I mean, he's in other stuff since then, this dude, right?
Oh yeah, tons of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what.
You were talking about the first shot that kind of made an impact for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like the musical score.
Yeah.
Is what kind of drew me in, like even deeper, right off the hop.
Yeah. It does have a deadly score. There is later on it did have a scene that's just all music and like it just there's something about like I don't know if it's like certain horns or something that they use, but the Japanese music, like a Japanese score is something else, and those are some elements that you might want to use in a track.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially you're
roots.
very into these kind of films, so you could get some inspiration from one of them. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Call this one No Face.
Ironically, has a face.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Break out that story now. Enter story here. When we went to HalCon the first time, and we were meeting up with Frankie, he said, you'll see me, I'm dressed in a black cloak. I'm this character, No Face. And I'm like, oh, sweet. I'll just look for the guy with no face. He goes, well, does have a face technically. So it was confusing nonetheless. Plus I had spectacles on, I couldn't see very much. And so I had to squint. And the only way I could tell it was Frankie is because Ghostface had some bright orange or something like that Nikes on. It's like, oh yeah, that's Frankie.
Yeah, the shoes were prominent.
Yeah. Well, that was a good time.
Yeah. How come we don't have a picture with them?
I do, dick.
Yeah, we were just looking at them.
I guess I'm the dick if you're not in the picture. You probably took it, you bastard. Fucking Audi drivers. They were driving an Audi. He was going fast, wasn't he?
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that though, because an Audi was like a really badass vehicle. 2001. It's got all-wheel drive. They're racing up towards this.
Boy,
bridge.
does it!
I know. And they're looking at shacks.
Yeah, good brakes,
being
too.
like, oh, look, that's where we're moving.
Yeah.
With our, hope there's a spot for our Audi.
Mm. They got cash-in cards.
The father.
Yeah, how tall was he, anyways? He's
6'9".
Yeah, something like that. He had about as much facial hair as I do.
Nice.
Maybe a bit less. Studio A, after their old tricks.
Yeah. It's just David Coverdale up there.
So one of the first things so how did you guys watch this? And I'm going to walk this through while we talk about the film. But first off, how did you guys watch it? Did you watch it subtitles, English dub?
So I watched it on Netflix with the subtitles on and English.
So did I.
And it
That's
was
how I
saying
started.
different things.
Yeah, like saying such different things. How did you watch it? You probably watched it every way, did you?
So I had to download it at the time because it wasn't on any streaming service or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I remember downloading it, and it was in Japanese for the first 5 files.
Yeah.
Then I finally got one that was the English dub.
Hmm.
And they changed a lot of this, the semantics and the language
Yeah.
for American audience and Canadian audience, that kind of thing.
Michael Chiklis just couldn't pull off the original line.
I'm guessing that, the subtitles are like more of a direct translation, where when they did the American dub, they're like, that sounds kind of strange, let's say it this way. But it was like, it was hard to watch, I found, because I kept like reading the subtitles, and why am I even reading the subtitles?
Yeah.
Because it's English dubbed.
Yeah.
So I actually did what any sane person would do and changed it to Japanese with the English subtitles.
Wow, cut out the Chiklis altogether.
Yeah. The scene of when you meet Goro's, stop me if I'm skipping ahead, but there's the whole haiku bringing her through. Okay, so there's a couple things I'm missing. So where do you want to start off?
Yeah, like, you can go right from the beginning. They're coming up to this bridge, and family, like you said, family's moving. They're obviously moving to another location. Audi comes to a complete stop just before this stone sprite, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And then they go through under this bridge and into this old park, and that's where their journey begins, right?
Yeah.
But what a rubbish theme park. No Ferris wheel that I even saw.
Yeah, we're getting
No
spoiled
wonder
on the
getting
Ferris
no money.
wheels. There's no Santa Carla. But they did have a ferry that was going across the water. And it was funny because she's like running down these stairs to nothingness, and then it's like, oh, water. It's like, what would you have rathered it? Like fucking Black Pit?
The reason that happened too was because that's the way she came through to the place. Like when her parents walked up this place, there was no water, and then she comes back. This whole area is now like
stuck.
This whole family has a weird, they're not too good with inclines or declines. Going down the hill, he couldn't fucking put on the brakes until the last minute. That, and then the other time that she's going down the stairs, and she's going really slow, but then she breaks one and it sends her into it. And I felt it in my legs. Like,
Yeah.
we've all been there where we're like running so fast that we can't stop running.
Yeah.
But then it was like a slapstick smash into the wall, which kind of like brought you back into kind of animation.
Oh yeah, it brought me back for sure. I had one of those like can't stop running down a bunch of ice,
Yeah.
and my only option was to like go off to the side and fell tailbone first on some rocks.
Ouch.
I love how at the tail end of that scene, she comes down the stairs as fast as anything, hits the wall, and then looks up, and this frog just opens the window. He's there with the cigarette, just blowing the smoke out,
Yeah.
and she just like inches around the corner to get out of sight.
He's like the most evolved man in this place. Everyone's like quasi frog. This guy's the real thing. I think he's mayor, maybe. So
Mayor
there we
of
go.
Spirit Spa.
She gets lost, kind of swept up, but then goes back. Her parents are now pigs. The only person that she can trust is Haiku, who kind of does get her out of there, but then he's kind of says something like, "Don't worry, I'm your friend."
Yeah,
Like when someone says
it's not
that,
a very trustworthy
Yeah.
thing to say.
yeah.
And like
Here,
you
eat
said-
this. Come with
Yeah.
me. I'm your friend.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Recipe for disaster.
He says, "Here, eat this."
it's like,
Yeah.
it's like a gentleman incel.
Oh yeah, because she does when the fairy's coming up. She's like, "Go away, disappear," and as she says that, she starts disappearing. So I was kind of wondering what's going on. Like, does she have this power or something like that? I wasn't quite understanding how she just started disappearing when she said that. I actually had to go back and get the line right.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with you. If you don't eat their food, if you don't,
Yeah, what was that? That human food?
I don't think it was. I think it was spirit food.
Yeah, but wouldn't that make her more invisible?
You would think.
What he gave her, the
Yeah.
red pill, triple stack red dragon is what I thought it was. Are we drinking? Bastard.
What did you think of Kamaji?
Kamaji. Yeah, Goro's old man. Huh? Yeah, I loved him. That's what was like. The haiku character was like pretty basic, so it was nice to see like one of these kind of characters who plays like, a
Yeah,
big
he's
supporting
an
role.
ash man.
Yeah, I thought that scene was really cool, and I just liked how, you see it in a lot of stuff, but it's pretty cool. People, you can only imagine having extra arms, how efficient you'd be, and all the kind of shit you could do. Am I right?
Keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
All the lost efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is he one of your favorite characters, or what, Frankie?
I'd say he's one of my favorite characters for sure. Yeah. Yeah. He just had such an integral role with he was kind of the middleman for Chihiro to actually talk to Yubaba or even get a chance at doing anything throughout the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has her back through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know who did his voice? Winchester from MASH.
Really?
Yeah. The guy that's like, kind of looks like Gene Wilder's fat older brother or something like that.
Yeah.
He's got that look.
Frizzed out hair.
Frankie used to be at 24 High Street, and we used to watch a lot of MASH.
Nice.
Big time.
Get into it, Frankie. Getting spirited away. Didn't use that one, did I?
No.
Uh,
So basically, she's fucked. She can't get out of there, so she got to get a job.
I did like the scene where she had to hold her breath. And like her cheeks were getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time you saw her. I thought that was That was fun.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think? You know, she gets past this bridge, she sees No Face. She gets past this bridge, the frog sees her, and Haiku has to whisk her away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this big upsweep of wind.
Yeah.
And all these, you know, spiritual women that are there, all their dresses blow
Marilyn
right up,
Monroe's,
Marilyn Monroe style type
Yeah.
of thing. They're blowing past everyone and going through.
Yeah.
You know, I found that was like an interesting creative choice
Yeah.
to decide to do something like that.
Yeah. Except for the subtitle said run. I went back and was like, he does not have feet on the ground.
No.
They're flying.
He's Superman.
Yeah, he's dragoning.
Yeah.
Do dragons fly or soar?
Soar.
Yeah.
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 I'd say.
I'd say too.
You think?
I thought sore was what you were when you were hurt.
Hope we get close enough to a dragon, buddy. But yeah, had that in my notes. The warp speed, Marilyn Monroe's,
That's it.
and then he does the
But it's because she stinks like human. She's got to go
Yeah.
super fast.
yeah. She
Like they
does
pick
stink.
up on it pretty fast.
Yeah. We all got that scent, don't we? He does this cool thing that they don't use all through the movie, but he does a little mind movie for her to watch, because he's like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and to get to Kamaji. So we're getting to that scene. You know, kind of similar to what
So specific.
it was done in Itchy the Killer. Actually, Gigi did it to Karen, gave her the scratch scene.
It actually shows that her face is framed up and it shows it
Yeah.
kind of taking place on
Yeah, in
her
her forehead.
forehead type
Yeah.
of thing.
Put the projector to her forehead. That'd be a funny shot to do. It's when he's like, yeah, remember, I'm your friend. Because then he leaves her. She walks down the stairs, and then she gets to Kamaji. So, yeah, she's looking for a job.
Yeah. Make sure he's going to say no, but insist. And then insist again.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell you to fuck off. And then just work there.
It's very
So,
true.
yeah. So this is actually when I went to Japanese with English subtitles. Because I was trying to... You know, I was really trying to figure out what this Kamaji guy's all about. And just like his subtitles were totally different from what he was saying. Like it was more obscured, so I was just like, okay, I gotta change this.
Yeah, it's worth it to watch the English dub version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I went Japanese with English subtitles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I thought that'd be the psychotic thing to do.
No, that's a good way to go. A lot
yeah.
of people like going that way.
Yeah. Sootball mass suicide. What was that all about?
You know, with...
Talk about hate your job.
The soot sprites are actually an omen for the past movies that he's done. My Neighbor Totoro, there's soot sprites in that movie as well. They keep it going.
There's something to do with oil in this place, though. If you watched it with the subtitles, it'll tell you that the sign says oil sometimes.
Yeah, and it kept saying bathhouse, because what it is it's the subtitle is for a sign.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving you, you know, you'll see bathhouse,
Yeah.
and then it'll say bathhouse, or oil was on a sign, and we kept saying oil, I think. Or it could have been the sound. At first I thought it was the sound, the hissing. Like you can hear oil, but I think that's kind of stupid. It's probably a sign.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first lesson. Don't take anyone's job.
Yeah, he makes that clear right off the hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did react like, yeah, just fuck this then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But she right away, you know, tries to pick up that boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to pull her weight in that little scene.
Yeah, and that's the point where she backs herself into that corner.
Yeah.
And that's that moment I was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
where that really grounded the animation.
Next character comes in. Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. You get the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played by Yomi Tamai, who only has 4.
It's Yumi, probably.
Either way. Yeah, Yumi. Like from Perfect Blue. Surprised you know that. Yumi Tamai only has 4 films in her filmography, but one of them she wrote, so that's kind of cool. But everyone else has like so many films in their filmography. But so Rin, and then, but in the American dubbed, her name is Lynn, not Rin.
Oh.
In the American dub,
Yeah.
and she's played by Susan Again. And, I butcher names of all nationalities, so.
Just again and again.
And if you think about it, because I read this when I first saw her, or maybe before, and you can't unsee it, that it's Meg from Hercules that does the voice in the English dub.
Oh, the cartoon Hercules?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's like the exact same character, actually, because I used to love Hercules.
Yeah, I thought it was alright, I think.
Yeah, you probably went and saw Hercules on a date.
Monsters Inc., Days of Confused, and Hercules.
But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because
She do any other stuff?
I don't. Oh yeah, tons. We don't got all day here.
Yeah, but anything like you would
I just-
recognize her from?
I just want Hercules. I just said it. I just wanted to point out that ice that we were standing on goes a little deeper than you thought, buddy. So you don't got to stress about anything. Yeah, we're uncancelled. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's these eggshells I'm worried about.
Oh no, they're good. Hard boiled, baby.
Oh, nice.
Bastard. See? We thought we were going to have to get Frankie to drink. He's making us drink.
Yeah.
As you should.
That's right. That's right. 'Tis the season.
Movember.
When in Romeo's basement. Oh yeah, so those the soot balls,
Yep.
they only eat Fruit Loops?
You know what? Are you talking about the stars candy that's
Yeah.
dropped? That's actually a real type of candy over in Japan. It's like almost like a gummy bear style candy.
I saw cereal. It's candy?
Candy.
Okay, cool. Learned something new.
Yeah.
It's no roasted newt, but they looked pretty good.
That's weird. Because I saw that something where...
Buddy wanted a leg of roasted newt. That was enough.
See where somebody put out tricks in an ant farm, and instead of eating it, they just unburied all of their dead and put it on top of it?
Never eaten that again.
That seems to be the consensus.
Do you think you'd be able to pick out a Twix in a lineup?
It's a car dealership joke.
Yeah, back to this roasted newt. Like, they must be like pretty damn good if you just want a leg.
Yeah,
And you got to think, like, McDonald's is getting pretty cheap now, or pretty expensive nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get a newt for like $5 at Pets Are Yum. Might be a nice little dinner.
At where?
Pets Are Us.
Is that what he said the first time?
What'd you think I said?
Pets Are Yum.
You guys are tripping, bro. Bros.
No, the roasted newt scene though.
Would you stop vaping out my fucking co-host here?
See what I look. The newt's a good spot for us right now because it starts making things confusing.
No, it's newt.
So is it too? So because there's 3 things that could be happening, right? So she's getting the newt because it's happenstance. She needs it in her journey, right?
Yeah, keep your hands like that.
So the way I see it, there's 3 ways you can go with this newt, right? And I'm leaning more towards one. So there's it's there to not smell humans, right? it's there as a treat for Lynn, or
Delicious treat.
and
Depends what version you're watching.
in the other one, and this is the one I'm leaning more towards because so much of this is like do this exact thing. Like it's like everything is planned out in a certain way that she's being funneled through this situation. Comment?
I agree.
She is being funneled through for sure.
Yeah.
Kamaji gives her this newt to try and give her bargaining chips, basically, so she can make her way to get another job or a job in general.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
yeah, but it does double as like
Currency.
he goes right after it. Like she's like, "Oh, is this what you're smelling?" And
It's like the Wonka bar of the spirit world. They don't see them often. They want it.
Yeah. And then from there, it's bunch of elevator rides up to Yubaba. Nothing too crazy in the middle of that.
I like the spirits when she's going up the elevator. She's able to see each floor.
Yeah.
And you see these spirits lounging in the baths and, getting tended to, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're all different shapes, sizes,
Yeah. There was even a cool shot when the spirits were like locking the doors. Like you see spirits go into the shops and lock the doors.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting too. Yeah, there's a lot of cool and actually, when we get to the Yubaba scene, I actually went back to just watching it English dub, no subtitles, because the subtitles were distracting me from like all the intricate things that I wanted to see in the background. So maybe that's like one of those things, because I loved the like the papers would be flying around her office, and they had such a cool like gravity was actually a factor in this scene because they actually kind of soared like a dragon through the air there. And like there's so many cool things that I just wanted to listen and be able to focus on everything.
Man, one of my favorite characters in the whole movie is the radish spirit. So she goes to get in this elevator.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's this big, gigantic being or spirit, whatever you want to call it.
Bet those are real.
Radishes or radish spirits?
The radish spirits.
he's such a cool dude, though. Like
It was cool.
gets out, and it's so fucking funny how like slowly he walks out. He's like, not my floor.
Right?
Yeah.
He's looking for something.
Elevator broken. All right.
Yeah. It's just like something about how sentient all these things, but docile.
Yeah.
And had a weird vibe to it. I liked
You
it
can
too.
tell like the radish spirit might have had a history of like being a little aggressive in the place because she says to Sen, Chihiro, she says,
Watch him.
yeah,
Oh, really?
just don't look at him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. She's got quite the schnoz on her. She could use a nose job. That's Yubaba.
Oh yeah.
The actress that plays Yubaba, Mary Natsuki, was in Birds. She did
Hitchcock?
Yeah.
Wow.
School teacher in Birds.
Interesting.
And also Bob Newhart's wife. That show that we never watched.
Yeah.
But I guess they do a Spirited Away live on stage. Like it was 2022 that they did this.
All right.
And she still is Yubaba in that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Shibaba.
Reprising her role.
Yeah.
Yubaba has such a great definition to her though.
Yeah.
Like even when there's a scene where she's trying to coax Chihiro into like working for her and signing away.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Stealing her name.
And it shows how big her eye is compared to Chihiro's body.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Gets right in her face, yeah.
And then you see her, I would say claws, but their nails come right around.
Yeah.
And you hear the sound effect, kind of the scratching.
Yeah.
It just works so well with it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. And that was a big thing, stealing the name. The metaphor behind that would be like, don't forget who you are. Like you're going into this new place, you're getting, dragged in every direction. But you can't lose sense of self through all this change. You know what I mean? You can change for the better, sometimes change for the worse, but like you got to have some kind of something grounding you.
Yeah. And Yubaba's like the malicious character in the sense of she wants she wants to own her.
Yeah.
So she wants her to sign herself over to her, be in her employment.
Yeah.
Except that Chihiro wants the job.
Yeah, and a couple times...
This wasn't a forced situation. She was asking for it.
Yeah.
She figured that was her only way to survive.
Yeah. But, it also works in her favor a couple times, because there's a couple times where they, rightfully could have threw Chihiro out, or Sin now.
Sin, yeah.
But she's in contract, so they can't really get rid of her, and that's how the union works, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the human thing isn't a big deal after all, is it?
No.
But the initial reaction, Sen signs this waiver, gets in with this crowd. Now she's employed by Yubaba in the bathhouse, and then she's introduced to all the staff.
Yeah.
The staff just go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We're not letting her work for us.
Yeah,
She's gonna stink up the place.
Yeah, yeah. And that's got to be, and going to... my final thought, I guess. So I won't talk about, but it's just like that sense of not belonging. Mm-hmm. Being the outsider. Mm-hmm. Like it's really hitting home. No one wants anything to do with her. She stinks. She's different.
Yeah.
She's not froggy enough for the frog club.
Oh yeah, you can see how bummed out she is when she has that little scene when she gets pulled away finally by Lynn after she's voluntold to take her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. She's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah. She doesn't like haiku.
And then she's like, oh, how you doing? How you doing, baby?
Yeah. Then she starts to kind of take her under her wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really did like Yubaba with the zipper mouth.
Yes.
Like first scene, she's writing something and starts talking. Like right away, you're like, okay, this girl, like she's got a couple tricks up her sleeves. That hangs like the vagine of a... Oh wait, fuck that up. I bet her vagine hangs like a sleeve of wizard.
Sleeve of witch? Is that
such
witch.
A thing? Yeah, same thing. Her sleeve. It was throwing two stones at once at a bird or whatever. Oh, and speaking of which, that old bird can fly too.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that scene pretty cool though?
Quite the beak.
Yeah. She's flying into the balcony.
Yeah.
Yubaba can change into a bird and fly around.
Yeah, I thought that was super interesting.
Yeah, just winging it.
But yeah.
She's got the baby. Is the baby introduced there as well?
Yeah, because she's fighting it off.
Yeah.
And she's got the pieces of wood in her hair and stuff like that. Like stuff like that really plays with the anatomy, like how different size she is, because they kind of look like what a little stick in Chihiro's hair would be.
Yeah.
But she said got such a big head that it was like a full 2x4, but it didn't even look that big.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. She does have that kind of like Godzilla sort of size changing shit going on.
Yeah, because that's the thing. So you could tell, and I think this is how a lot of the animations work, is that the main character that they have to draw the most always is a little more simple than these characters that are just in a couple scenes. Definitely. You can really put the detail in because you only have to draw them a fraction of the amount of times you have to draw her.
Yeah.
But it worked in her character, in this sense, because of her being a child. Yeah, you can have very soft features where like an old lady like that has a lot of strong features in your face kind of thing. So I thought that was genius.
Yeah. Ren and Stimpy always had like really high detailed shots. Like
it'd be like a one shot.
Yeah, the guy who made it would like make it so every single frame was different. Like where normally 24 need to be drawn per second to evoke motion, but he would make sure that they drew it all differently.
Yeah, it's like Dante's Inferno was done by a bunch of different artists. So it has... I guess that's not relevant, but I do know what you mean. Those Ren and Stimpy, those really graphic detailed shots. Really interesting that people are just sleeping everywhere. It's on the ground, like sleeping bags, like they're all packed up like Cub Scouts in there.
Yeah, oh yeah. I feel like that just might be something they do.
Yeah.
Just in general in Japan.
Oh, I guess, yeah, they sit on the ground to eat, but...
Yeah, sometimes it's that or drawers.
Yeah, drawers, yeah. Exactly. Drawers are a step up, aren't they?
Thought Jerry was in there hacking away. Getting... slivers into Yubaba's hair.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Alice in Wonderland. But did Alice in Wonderland have this much subtext, do you think? Like, it's funny that we're watching it like this, but it makes me rethink, like, a lot of Disney movies. Like, do they need a rewatch? Is there this much, like, really on the nose? Like, everything I found was really, like, easy to get. It wasn't too force-fed, but it was like, okay, I see what they're doing with this scene. Like, every step of the way. It was just... It was connecting.
I would say that goes towards, the organic nature of the film. Yeah. And I think part of the organic nature is that it was written with no script. So they started animating this film with no script. And once they started animating this film, they continued on writing the script as they were animating the film. So that's why all these things are kind of happening organically, and people are coming up with new ideas. Let's introduce a big baby into the situation. Let's introduce paper into the situation as flying birds instead of this. And it kind of all happens. So there's so much of a snowball effect because there was no script actually written.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's always been one of my most amazing things that I learned about the film, because you watch it, you see everything for what it is. Yeah. But then all of a sudden you find out there was actually no script. It was all done organically and through that process of editing as well.
It's like a spaghetti animation.
Jeez. Yeah, that is pretty fucking interesting, actually. You would think they would have, just with so much shit under their belt, that the Ghiblis would have wanted or like had a night. Something like specific. Like, do they do that with other films? Like, this can't be normal practice for
I think that is how Westerns were done. A couple Western, like the spaghetti Westerns.
I don't think it's normal practice, but it was something that they did really well, because like Howl's Moving Castle, for example, was a book beforehand. So there was some premise to go on there. But I think with this one, Spirited Away, it was just off the cuff.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki ended up coming out of retirement just to do this film. And then he, wins an Oscar, and he doesn't even come and pick up the Oscar. He says, I'm too disgusted with what's happening in the world right now. So he didn't actually accept the Oscar. He just let it be.
Yeah. Jada got to him. Fucking maniacal bitch. So this is one...
It's like a Fellini kind of thing where he wouldn't record sound or whatever, just make up the movie later.
Well, I think a lot of Sergio Leone films, like the spaghetti westerns, were done like that. Because they were all done in like Spanish or something like that. So it's kind of the same situation.
But some people understand Spanish.
Yeah, people from Spain. My grandfather from Portugal said that
he understood half of it.
He said that a Portuguese man can speak Spanish and understand Spanish, but a Spanish man can't speak or understand Portuguese.
Nice.
Because it's kind of that status battle that they always had. It's like,
I believe that.
Yeah. So, No Face shows his face. Out the screen door, very Scream-esque. That Drew Barrymore there just lets him right in. She's like, "You're not getting wet out there, are you?" He goes, "Boy, am I."
And then she just says, "Come on in."
Yeah, Jesus Christ, trusting.
Does she do that before she fucking helps out old Stinkball there?
She's the stink ball, isn't she?
No,
The
no.
river spirit? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
he jumps in, right?
River spirits first?
Yeah, they give her the dirty job of...
No, that's after. The stink guy. I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. Is that...
No, because once No Face gets in there, it's all him. They don't have him and the stink on the loose at the same time.
Yeah. No. He comes first.
No Face does?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the chicken. Stinky's the egg. Hot take.
So you watch when the yeah, so when the river spirit comes along, gets in the tub, water overflows, and you actually get a little scene of No Face kind of floating away with all his what he thought was important chips that he was using, you know, tags for the baths.
Oh yeah.
You see
Yeah.
him kind
Right.
of floating through.
Helps her get all the
Yeah, because, like, she's got that whole specific thing. Like, she's got to go do this and give the thing a tug.
Yeah.
And gets the whole tutorial. Then she's got to go get all the rigmarole again.
The tutorial.
It's kind of the
Not bad.
Pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
it's kind of her learning what a real workplace is like. You know, there's a foreman. She has to go to the foreman to get these certain tags that allow her to get this certain water for the baths for the clients that are coming into the bath.
And it seems like super specific and run a really specific way all the time. Just like this. It's not really that overwhelming when you think about it. It's like pull one thing, wait for this, do this.
Yeah.
But like when you're first hearing the instruction, you kind of feel like you're going to be inundated with information.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize what Kamaji's role is as well. So those women and girls are putting those tags in, they're sending them down. Kamaji sees that there's 4 lines on it. He knows he needs a little more salt, a little more paprika, whatever he's got in those bins.
Yeah.
He puts that in, gets it all fired up, and sends up the water with that additive in it. So there is kind of a structure.
Yeah. I'd overlooked that actually, but it makes sense that it just shows like every little aspect of how everything works in harmony.
And what a pain in the ass everything is.
If it fucks up.
Oh, yeah, go get this soap thing. And he's just like, everybody else.
The first layer of sludge though, like her feet are getting stuck in it and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's just something extremely satisfying about this scene. It's almost like a pimple being popped or something like that.
There's actually that really crisp sound effect.
Yeah.
So the river spirit, you know, obviously they're pulling this rope out of it. This bicycle comes out, and that bicycle is actually from a point in time in Hayao Miyazaki's life, the director, when he was in Japan and he saw this, you know, massive river and lake area, whatever it was, and they were actually clearing this out. There was a bunch of mud, and they were pulling a bunch of stuff out of it, and this bicycle came out. So I guess that's where that came from.
So fucking day 32 in
Forgot
the
about
cartoon studio. He's like, why don't we throw this in
Yeah,
next to the baby?
Yeah, shitting out a junkyard.
just get it pulled out of him.
I think this is the same alien that was in Nope.
The one that pops out of it?
That, like, expels all the fucking... Would be like bicycles.
Oh, yeah,
and stuff.
dropping all the crap out of it.
Yeah.
But that final plunge, you know, when they all pull as a team, and that little...
Yeah.
And that cork comes out, and then you hear it from the river spirit. You hear an
Yeah.
and he just kind of turns back into his, you know, real self.
We all know what that feels like, am I right?
He looks like the guy who chases you in Super Mario 2. Like when he comes out finally.
Boo.
That weird little face.
Yeah, boo.
But he's supposed to, you know, kind of indicate a dirty client, or like, you know, they all obviously all of them are like, oh my God, this thing's coming to us. Like we got to prepare for this. Open the windows. Let's get our best girls up front.
Yeah. He's a worst case scenario. And she's dealing with this guy in her first day.
It's all up from him.
Nice.
So, there we go. R's and L's getting twisted real quick.
Yeah. I'd raise a stein to that.
Yeah.
I think it was more so like her initiation. You know, right away she just signed her life over. She just said, "I'm working for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna get this dirty bastard into this bathtub. Take care of him." And she actually says those lines. She says, "Take him to the bath and take care of him."
Gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, so a little bit of, this is a fucking human trafficking angle.
So
I guess they do work at a bathhouse.
So let me blow your mind.
Ugh.
There's a theory that all of it,
Is your mouth that big?
all of it is centered around the bathhouse actually being a brothel.
Yeah.
Chihiro is actually sent into the sex trade. Okay. The girls that you see, the Marilyn Monroe style in the beginning, flaunting themselves, that kind of thing, they're all there to greet the spirits that are coming off of this boat. The spirits are kind of the clients coming to this brothel looking for that service. They're all there, like we said, laying on the floor. They have their beds set up on the floor, that kind of thing. Chihiro signs her life over and says, "I am now working here at this bathhouse." Well, she's got to pull her weight.
You're right.
So Yubaba gives her the dirtiest, nastiest client right off the hop.
Yeah.
Once that's done,
Like
no
a
face.
Dane DeVito.
Fucking Haiku being a little sweetheart.
Yeah,
too.
what's he anyways? The fucking driver?
Yeah,
He
he's the
could
one.
be. Something like that. Kind of the first steps to get in.
You did just blow me. My mind. blow me mind. Yeah, that was the subtitles talking.
I would say at that point, No Face comes into play
Oh
as
yeah. No face got a lot of face.
the grand client that comes in who's rich and giving money to everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody's really antsy. They want to go and get that money.
Yeah, everyone's very materialistic. And it's like based off this kind of economy that Yabuba has going on. I guess which really contrasts, I guess we'll get there when we get there, but the amount of love talk later on, it's like you can't, and it is very clear cut in the relationship between No Face and Sin, is that like some people you can't buy their love.
Exactly.
The masses you can. A lot of people are materialistic.
Everyone in that bathhouse was taking his gold.
Yeah.
But as soon as Sen and Chihiro decided not to,
Yeah.
that just made him want Sen more because she was untouchable.
Yeah.
You know?
An innocence of children too. You know what I mean? Children like wouldn't see any of this for what it is. They would see it in this kind of fantasy world, or
Definitely.
it's all ways of finding to adapt. Like I said earlier, could be all in her head. This is the way that she.
Bunch at Mindy's after this kind of generosity.
Yeah.
So then later in the film, you hear Lynn say that she wants to get out of there someday. And that's very similar, to other women who are in bathhouses, brothels, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Any kind of sex trade oriented type of situation. Obviously, they want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
They have dreams. They want to go out and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And you hear her say that line, and you can see that there's other people that are actually set around that area as well that have their sleeping bags set up, that kind of thing. Obviously, they have one area all to sleep in together.
Yeah.
No script, eh? But an agenda.
Definitely.
That was upper class. Yeah, that's interesting. So this is when you start seeing No Face for the creature he really is. And did you cheap out on your costume a little bit? I didn't see it. Was there a mouth there I didn't see?
Didn't have the mouth.
That would be a whole other appendage you'd have to work
Yeah.
into that suit.
Yeah.
It's ever evolving.
What did
though.
Diana dress up as?
Chihiro. She had the pink outfit. That was a great Halcon.
Yeah, no, it was a great Helcon. But yeah, he's got like it's almost like classic monster mouth. Like he's got like the space teeth and stuff like that, and
Yeah. Gangly.
yeah,
And he can obviously eat anybody he wants in that place because he turns on everyone after he gives them gold and starts eating them.
yeah,
Like when he gets to having hair and stuff.
yeah. I know. The toupee all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and yeah, he ate a double
Hal's moving asshole.
Frogger meal with cheese. And that's when people start having their little suspicions about him.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the price of gold.
You'll notice that throughout it, he keeps trying to give his gold to Chihiro, to Sen. And that's kind of an indication of, like, if I give you enough money or gold, you're mine now. So he wants her, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants to own her.
Yeah, she's the most desirable. She's fresh fish.
And you see him eating all this stuff, getting brought a bunch of food, he's
Living
obviously
like a king.
He's living like a king.
Yeah.
But he can't have that one thing that he wants.
Yeah.
That's Chihiro.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. And then, so is this when why does she have to, like, escape or get away? It's not because she has to tend to this issue with No Face.
Yeah.
In transit to help Haku, who's just been attacked by the 1,000 paper cranes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds scary.
Anyone ever read that book, 1,000 Paper Cranes?
No.
It was about a child. I'm pretty sure the whole thing took place in the hospital because she had leukemia from Hiroshima, and she learned how to do origami. It's just kind of like, the last days of her life or year of her life, this origami helped her set her heart at ease.
All right. Well, No Face reminds me of a book called Broom in the System. Where this guy, Norman or some shit, Mr. Norman, is eats himself so that he's like as big as a room.
Big as a room.
Yeah.
Big room?
How would you get in to see?
Like he keeps like eating in a restaurant till he's like almost too big to be. Like it's very interesting theater of the mind. Like this book is like grounded in reality, but this guy is like growing like a monster.
Yeah.
But he's like a total side character. But he has a similar thing where like he can't have something, so he's replacing it with all of this.
It's like No Face, he eats all this food, he's massive, he's not getting what he wants.
Becoming froggy.
And then he starts getting aggressive.
Yeah.
Like real aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's when you kind of realize the dark nature of him being in this bathhouse. Is that obviously, he's been able to eat what he wants, live like a king.
Yeah.
It's like a parasite for sure.
Yeah.
And then he starts to, attack Sen, basically, or Chihiro. He starts to...
Yeah. Well, once you have power, you think you run the world, so as soon as something kind of try to conflicts, that's when you start freaking out.
And then people start losing it at Sen.
Yeah.
Like, did you let him in here? He's saying you let him in here. He's calling out your name. She's got to go tend to this guy now. Otherwise, the whole thing's going to implode.
And you know what? Like, he doesn't seem like a snitch on himself like that. You know what I mean? I think it would be hard to have a conversation with No Face.
Oh, yeah.
It's more of like a...
Yeah.
Because there's these little excerpts.
Oh, yeah.
How did he let Sen... He wasn't like, Sen, let me in. Bullshit.
I think he was looking for a way in for a while. And then an outsider like Sen was the first one to make a mistake like that and let him in. So he took advantage. He went in and balled out.
He was going in the other direction on the bridge that everyone else was going. Like he already got kicked out or something like that.
Which also leads me to think that Radish Spirit maybe either abused one of the women there at one point, and that's why they look out for him, and they say, like, obviously don't look at him, like, he's dangerous, that kind of thing.
He is a donkey puncher.
That's for sure.
I don't know what he did.
But I must be missing something. But there's there's a scene where she has to like run across a pipe that breaks around here this time.
Mm-hmm.
And like a very Mission Impossible scene.
Yeah.
Or stunt that she did. I wonder if she does her own stunts. What do you think?
Definitely.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, if there's no script, she probably got to do her own
Just do what you want.
scrunts.
Yeah. Victoria did.
No choice.
I think that scene specifically like shows that she's getting a little more brave, a little more confident that, yeah, she knows that this pipe looks rusty, but she's going to tie a bow on her back, pull up her legs, pull up the pants,
Not going to back down.
and run across and hope that she just makes it to the other side because she knows what the end result is. She needs to get out of that bathhouse at that time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But funny, going back to like No Face, for example, he's living like a king. He starts chasing Sen. He starts, slithering down this whole bathhouse trying to get out. As soon as he gets out, then he starts to become normal again because he's not surrounded by all the stuff in that bathhouse, which with the theory of it being about the sex trade and stuff like that, maybe he got a little carried away in there. As soon as he stepped out and got back to the real world, then he realized that maybe he's not that kind of aggressive and terrible person or being.
Yeah, that's super interesting. What do you think?
Sugar over vinegar, I guess.
Next character we meet, Big Dante.
The big boy.
Yeah.
He's like, play with me or I'm gonna break your arm.
Yeah, he is a bit of a strong armor like that. But a lot of babies are like that. Yeah, an attitude will do that.
He's a germaphobe as well.
Yeah, he's a little fucking Howie Mandel under there.
You see or say like, "Oh, you got germs," and he freaks out.
Yeah.
That's when
It's because of the.
So what was that? I got AIDS.
No, that's that Munchausen by proxy thing. Because like he thinks he's gonna be sick because he's so babied. Right. So like thinks any kind of outside element because Yubaba's protecting him.
Yeah,
keeping him. Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't put your baby in that many blankets.
How many pillows?
Jesus.
Smothering it.
But, smothering it, and it might die like the flowers.
Very true.
The Japanese voice, done by Ryunosuke Kamiki, in 2022 was in a movie, live action, called XXX Holic. So I bet it like that.
Nice.
Tara Strong, who does not have a face for radio, very sponge-worthy, did the English did the English dub of this baby, and she also did Harley Quinn in Arkham City video game, and Barbara in Killing Joke. Barbara Gordon.
No way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fun facts.
I couldn't even tell the baby was voiced by a lady.
You just expect it to be some baby.
Or like a little boy or something, but it makes sense. It's always done like, Bob's Burgers, Boys Do the Girls, Simpsons, Bart's a Girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The best example is Simpsons, because, the bully, what's his name? Nelson's a girl. He did. Crucified it.
It's interesting, too, that, the director for Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki, he always chooses a female protagonist for all of his films. So, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, that's centered around
That's
Sophie.
the one that I got confused with. That I thought I was waiting for a couple things that I saw from Kiki's in this.
Have you watched Princess Mononoke? It's another one with a female protagonist. So he always kind of centers it around a strong female lead, but this was kind of his first time, I think, going with the child aspect of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's usually like a grown-up?
I guess in My Neighbor Totoro, they were also young girls as well.
Yeah.
But Princess Mononoke is kind of a different story. Kiki, yeah, I guess he does go for the younger. That's interesting.
What was the last thing they did? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Studio Ponok is a derivative off of Studio Ghibli. It was kind of the same editors.
Okay.
They did Mary's and the Witch's Flower.
Oh, yeah, and the Porco Rossi.
Porco Rosso is...
Rosso, fuck me.
That's also a genius film as well. Very interesting organic element to it.
I'm very drawn to them. Like, I see them, and I want to check them all out.
Yeah.
Drawn?
Yeah.
You mean that? You mean it, guy?
Hand drawn.
No?
Sorry. It was making me pensive.
Yabashi? What's his name?
Yubaba?
No, the guy. The Kamashi.
Kamaji.
I love the thing that he does here. Do this.
Array.
Evil be gone.
So that's a real Japanese superstition.
Oh, really?
Interestingly enough, so to ward off evil spirits, something bad happens within your life or something bad, you go like this, and in order for you to break that curse, somebody needs to split it for you.
Evil be gone. Cool.
And then it breaks the curse.
You feeling cursed, bro?
Paper cut.
You feeling a curse? Come on. No?
Shit.
Shit.
Feel a curse coming on. Fuck.
And then she goes on the subway. Subway?
So, backpedaling from that, Kamaji also offers her another important staple in her journey.
Yeah.
Were the train tickets.
Yeah,
He's been saving these for how long?
40 years.
Yeah.
How long he's worked there at the whorehouse?
Yeah.
Much longer, I think.
Yeah. Waiting for the right one to set free.
Yeah, the right one to take a chance on to say, this girl's going to get out of here.
Yeah. And this is her only hope to save Haku. We kind of crossed over, but she's on her way to... So we've already met Yabuba's... Yubaba's twin at this point.
Zaniba.
Zaniba, that's what it was.
And she's all about love. She doesn't care about money. She comes off a little nasty, but then you find out she's all about love. Because, Haku's a kid too, right?
Right.
But she's just like looking at them being like, oh, that's what love's all about.
It was odd, right?
A little bit. But I remember
Seemed
those
a bit
days.
young for such strong feelings.
I remember young love.
Yeah.
What did you think about the dark figures on the train? So they're spirits, but all of them had a really shadowed look to them. They were all very dark in color,
Yeah. I don't know.
They just want them to feel like isolated, but still as if there's lots of stuff around, maybe.
Yeah. Probably they didn't want to... a practical sense would be that they don't want to draw these like intricate characters all around, so they just do these like very cookie cutter spirits.
And they spent a huge amount of the budget on Michael Chiklis, so they couldn't afford to have a bunch of new characters in there.
Exactly.
They were going to originally in the script.
Yeah.
They just made them like kind of generic shadow characters that are taking this train to who knows where. Maybe they're trying to get back to their realm. Maybe they have a different spot that they're going, but all those passes on the train looking at the water, I found that they were animated just spectacularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful vistas.
Mm-hmm.
And it really gave a scope for the journey, too, which is nice.
And this is when there was no music. Of course, this was all music. There was no dialogue.
Yeah.
And it was just the score, and so many movies, we've talked about this before, it's like almost the best part of the movie is when everyone just shuts the fuck up and there's just like the score and you're getting in the head of the character and she's driving the subway and like you can almost tell what she's thinking. It's like I hope there's gyros at the next stop. If not, I'll probably run off and try to get one.
And she seemed comfortable enough to let No Face come onto the train with her.
Yeah, like she's super trusting.
Now that No Face was back to himself, as he is.
Yeah, he was chill. But a little bit bigger. He seemed a little bigger there for a second. Yeah. But he's getting smaller maybe as the journey went down.
Yeah, so they take this train then...
But she diffuses every situation she's in. You know, it's just like her character alone that just gets her through. You know, she diffuses everything with Yubaba, like, pretty easily.
Yeah, she's trying to find that maturity level as well.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is kind of an ode to growing up, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Coming of age, for sure.
Yeah. And then that maturity is kind of coming into play as she goes, to Zeniba.
Yeah.
And I found it hilarious how he incorporated, Zeniba teaching No Face how to spin thread and sew or whatever they were doing.
Yeah, I loved that, actually. No Face, why don't you stay with me?
Was it Tsubaba that turned the baby into a mouse?
Yeah.
Zeniba.
It does get backwards,
to mess with
right?
her sister,
Yeah, and haiku. You didn't even notice what of yours has been switched up, and the baby's actually the three heads.
Yeah.
Who was eating like kings.
Oh, who did the voice of the three
These
heads?
three kings.
Yeah. Are you?
I don't know.
Could have been anybody.
But, okay. Who was the assistant manager in all this?
To the bathhouse, you think? Or...
Do you think it was the frog?
I would say the orange frog.
The one that was going to tattle?
The foreman would have been her second in charge.
The assistant manager is done by Cliff from Cheers.
No way.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pretty funny. Random.
Really?
Yeah.
That is random.
So who's the assistant manager? The guy giving out soap?
Cliff from Cheers.
No, but the...
In the movie. Who is it? Cliff from... Is he in it?
Yeah. Assistant managing something. I'm guessing it's the frog.
Must be.
That gets put in, like, that sees her for the first time, gets put in the bubble.
The little frog.
Yeah, little guy. I'm thinking that. Also, before they get to Zubaba's, wasn't that cool? Did someone already fire out of the mouth, Yobaba? Is that later?
That's when she finds out that
That's the kid.
About the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes wily.
Says, you stole my baby.
Yeah.
All the flames start coming out of her mouth. Haiku has some information. She's upset.
Yeah, and then she blows the smoke out, and it's just, blows the fire out, and it's just smoke, like, fuming.
Yeah.
And there's so much emotion in the hair, even, of these characters, because going back to the sludge character, you could just see, like, the tingle crawling over Chihiro as he was getting closer, the smells coming to her, and her hair's all standing up, even the shirt is all zigzaggy, kind of sticking out and stuff like that. Like, it was the perfect way to convey, like a shiver in the spine, or like goosebumps. Like that feeling that, it's weird.
Big time.
Yeah. So I thought, the animation of this is amazing. But that lantern thing.
One with the 1 foot?
One hand.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lantern
That was a test.
thing.
From my family?
Adams.
For all you Adams family.
Ah.
Yeah, your family. Give it to me. So, does that lead them to Zababa's? What's her name?
They go to Zeniba's.
Zeniba's, yeah.
And then they kind of
The lantern takes them there, yeah.
They come to grips with what the situation is. Zeniba lets her know, hey, I'm Yubaba's sister, and this is the situation. Haiku's under her control. And then it does that big panoramic shot where it comes up aerial and you see that lantern kind of waving goodbye.
Yeah.
It's those little intricate pieces that I find amazing, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Street light was looking like street meat to me.
It's looking crisp.
Yeah.
So does Haku show up at Zabibas?
Yeah, so I remember...
He's in tow. He wakes up and he's like perfectly good.
Yeah.
Because
the curse is gone.
She fed him that bit of whatever the river spirit gave her. That was something we kind of didn't talk about. But the river
slug
spirit,
meat.
Usabi ball.
Kills slug meat.
she tries to eat it earlier on. She's disgusted by
That's
it.
another thing where the hair kind of goes crazy.
Yeah. She's disgusted by it, but she feeds it to him to kind of hope that it does something of a miracle.
Yeah. And she leaves it as is and then heads out on her journey.
And she's right.
Yeah.
She nailed it.
Could have been a Mickey.
Yeah.
They could have went a lot of different directions with that. You
Yeah.
know, she feeds him this thing. Well, what does the thing do to her?
Yeah.
The whole studio, Ghibli's wondering, hey, which direction should we go with this? And they decide, you know, he's going to be perfectly okay and show up at Zeniba's.
Yeah.
It's going to be this big emotional moment
Yeah.
where she comes out of Zeniba's place, sees him as a dragon, and is so overwhelmed with joy that she runs up and hugs him, and now they're back to another journey.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the next leg of the journey.
Yeah. And she keeps, she's granny now.
And now Yubaba, or Zeniba, is
Zeniba.
the granny of the situation.
Yeah. She keeps commenting on the young love between Sandy and Danny. And you find out that Haku's not even a Danny.
He's the fucking thing from Never Ending Story.
He forgot his name too.
Yeah, he said that earlier on. That he didn't remember shit about his name and that it was garbage. And
Master Haku.
Yeah.
But now, then you find out that this is where it all unfolds. Where, because he said, I've known you for a long time, it's a callback that she once put her foot in him.
As the river.
Yeah. Got her foot wet.
I think it's interesting too, like,
I think.
They kind of leave it up to interpretation in the sense that it shows her being swept by this river. And like, to me, it almost looked like, you know, she almost drowned in that river earlier in her life. That pink shoe was obviously something that Haiku remembered because he is the river.
Yeah.
Who is the river spirit of that particular river.
she's probably drowning the whole movie. Or
And did they say yellow shoes?
Pink.
Pink. Which is interesting because she had yellow shoes. Because remember the soot balls kept fucking stealing her shoes or some. There's a couple times where
she
the
didn't
soot balls
need their
took her
shoes. Len told her to leave them there.
Must have been some old Adidas. Back when she was younger, she had these nice pink Adidas, and one of them just got taken off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, had to go with the yellows.
But she did drop one.
Yeah. So then there's the whole deal that Haku made to set her free, get her. Yeah, we didn't talk about the parents much. They're still pigs.
Yeah.
They should have just fallen out of the sky when he turned back to human, though.
Yeah, what's with the free fall? Yeah. I forgot about that. That she goes, I remember who you are now.
Yeah.
She's riding him like never-ending story guy, and then she goes, I know who you are. And it's like, maybe you should have waited till the landing. He just starts dropping.
They start spinning around, tears are flying, there's an emotional moment.
Big raindrops.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they show up and there's one last task for Chihiro. I think she's back to Chihiro by now. Or still Sin.
No. Haku's calling her. Whatever you're calling her.
Sin?
Technically,
Chihiro.
She's still under Yubaba's control at that point. So technically, she would be Sen. She signed over her name.
Fuck that bitch.
And Haku's like, let it go. Don't let her do this. Don't make her do this and stuff like that. She brought back your baby. There's that whole exchange. But Chihiro's like, no. She's, fearless. She's willing to go, attack any obstacle. She's like, no, you want me to do this last little, what was it, last little deal?
It was a trial.
Trial, tribulation.
Last little trial.
Yeah. And, can you spot your parents out of this group of piggies?
Shows her all the pigs that are in the barn type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty classic. Like, that's been recycled. None of these are a Twix.
Yeah, but what a hopeless moment when she looks earlier.
Oh, yeah.
When she tries to go spot her parents again.
Yeah, she can't figure it out.
Great foreshadowing, because at that time she didn't have this mind state that she does now, but everything that she just learned is being applied into this.
Right.
Yeah.
True growth, progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it has so many great elements in this stuff.
But also, was No Face a horse shitter? How come his gold turned to fucking rabbit shit?
Exactly. He was. He was faking it the whole time. He wasn't a rich man.
Yeah.
He came in with what appeared to be riches, but then this just turned to dirt and sand in their hands after the fact.
At one point, Yubaba does the same thing to a bunch of gold. But I guess it's just because it already is. Rabbit turds.
There's one scene where she has a stack of gold on her desk from No Face.
Yeah.
And then that turns into
That was meant to be payment, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it
she
disintegrates.
gets so upset about it because she thought it was real.
Yeah.
So he was just a...
Okay, that's how it
So what the fuck is No Face's... Why did he go on that long journey with her? Like, it seemed benevolent enough in that.
I think it was...
What's his goal?
Why don't you just tell us what you think No Face is about?
I think in the beginning, No Face really just wanted entrance into this bathhouse. He just wanted to be seen as somebody who could get into this bathhouse and or brothel. And he gets in. That's his first goal accomplished. But now he wants something deeper, which was Sen. He wanted to own her. He wanted to kind of take control of that situation and be with her type of thing. After he left that bathhouse, his goals changed.
Yeah.
He changed back into the being that he was before, the spirit he was before. It wasn't so aggressive. He gets to Zeniba's, and now he's like, spinning thread. He's finding his inner peace of not being surrounded with that kind of thing. And he ends up staying with Zeniba.
Find something he's good at?
So check this. This is like just spur of the moment thoughts. What if you could look at this from a way that you sympathize with No Face? No Face just wants to belong to. He's on the exact same path as Chihiro. She, recognizes that maybe there's a similarity between us. So she lets him into this place that he also feels rejected from. But, a lot of people may act out in that situation because they're trying to show off they really want to belong. So they're like, I'll give you guys whatever you fucking want. And, maybe it goes to his head a little bit. We're all sinners in our own right. So he gets lost in the mix. But then Chihiro, who is just like this fucking true individual that seems to bring, can at least talk him into the right direction where, since they are on the same part of their journey, they're kindred spirits.
Nope.
No. I didn't think so either.
No. He's no script, No Face. They get him there. They just bring him there for no reason. And then they just throw something from another fairy tale. They're like, oh, yeah, spin gold yarns, stupid.
Yeah, that's probably more like it.
Yeah.
I think it's more about him finding his inner solace, some kind of...
A lot of parallels between him and Chihiro.
Right, finding his place in the world and maybe maturing on his own as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow. This movie has got so much deeper in the past hour and a half or whatever than it was.
It's worth thousands of rewatches, let
Holy
me tell
fuck.
you.
Yeah. I'm going to be eating that chocolate bar and watching it again real soon.
Shallow.
And I think the premise to the whole
What,
film...
the water you're treading in?
Yeah, she probably could have just walked back over. She would have just taken that step early on, right? It's probably just a slightly boggish, marshy little field. Nothing too bad.
On her way back home?
Yeah, it's probably the water probably wasn't that deep.
Don't mind the train conductor here. He derails often.
I think the entire film is kind of centered around everything having a spirit.
Yeah.
And
good spirits, bad spirits.
Right. And apparently in Japan there's this term called Shinto. They believe that every single thing has a spirit. You know, there's kind of a spirit realm that in that realm exists a being and or spirit of this particular thing.
I believe in this is getting deeper than I ever anticipated, but like instead of this one higher being, it's like, it's our energies. Everyone has this own energy or aura or whatever you'd call it, and it bounces off and affects everyone, and it's all about those little interactions that you see Chihiro have all along the way that will bounce you in the right direction or through the right door.
Yeah. Okay, Long Island medium.
So what was your favorite part of the film? The frogs?
The frogs, yeah, were good. I liked...
Come on, Shallow Hal.
I liked when they put Stinker in the tub there. I mean, I loved the whole movie, but ever since I found out there was no script, like... I'm starting to see all the little things they stole here. People losing shoes, witches of good and bad.
But isn't it impressive?
Yeah.
I find it so impressive that they decided to go down
this
that
heist
road.
is pretty impressive. And then all the gold turns to shit at the end. Yeah, I get it.
What do you think about that ending?
It's been... I've seen it in other things, that classic, is it Narnia? Or just like, you turn a corner and you're back to where you started.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz type shit. Parents,
So she guesses that the parents, aren't in that litter of pigs.
Yeah.
They're looking at a bunch of pigs. None of them are my parents.
That's
the correct answer. All the spirits are cheering for her.
Yeah.
I think everything and everybody and every spirit in that bathhouse wanted to see her get the hell out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some kind of aura there that they're like, you can do better, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So then...
She's the hero.
She gets to leave, basically, and go back to human living.
Yeah.
So she goes back and she travels through that area. She comes back under that bridge. She comes through it all. Her parents are there. They're like, Chihiro, where you been?
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
Yeah. It's like time has passed slightly. But she was really caught up in this thing. But they didn't quite cop out like a dream. Like you could have easily just been, she wakes up in the back of the car.
Which I would have hated.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It would have been terrible.
Mm-hmm. So they do follow through.
So more of a Narnia kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll notice in the film, too, there's dust all over the car. And the father actually says something about it, like, what happened to our car?
Oh, yeah, the shrubs.
Who knows how long
bunch of branches and stuff.
Who knows how long they've been in there for?
Yeah.
But I like that was in there because then that kind of gives you an idea of time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's not only matured, but time has went on.
Yeah.
And then that final, are you excited to go to a new school?
Oh yeah, that's just bookcases the whole thing. Yeah.
She's like, I think I can manage.
Yeah.
She's been.
I think I can handle that.
I think I can handle it. That's it.
But there's got to be something else going on with that river thing.
I think
and
I can
drowning.
I think I can handle that.
Like I think
there's a lot of theories about that. Actually,
I think there might be like almost like alternate endings or something.
Say that again.
Where he was Kahaku when he finds out it's Kahaku, and it's like
the Kahaku River.
Yeah.
So haiku is actually the Kahaku River.
Yeah.
Which is the river that Chihiro fell into and the river kind of saved her by flushing her out of it, type of thing.
And that's how it ends?
No, but I think that what you're trying to say is that it's kind of a...
Yeah. Can you put on some English subtitles here, buddy?
What are you trying to say?
Just that they end it in a very practical way where they follow through.
Yeah.
They don't cop out with the dream.
No.
But there's clearly something else that can be explored deeper within that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as simple as she gets out and it's fine. Like, this comes from trauma or something.
Mm-hmm. And I think the trauma lies within the river of haiku or Kahaka River, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a theory out there that haiku is actually her brother who drowned in that river. So
Probably
there's kind
Page Master himself that did it.
So there's some trauma there.
There's kind of a
That could
dark
be the
undertone.
trauma, yeah.
And maybe she was also with him when that happened, but she survived.
Yeah.
The river somehow saved her, but took her brother.
Yeah.
Now Haiku is the river spirit of the Kahaku River, and is there to guide her through this whole bathhouse transition to make sure that she makes it to the end safely.
So are we leaning towards, this is all in her head, this is her way of adapting and kind of, she's projecting all this stuff.
Why are they moving?
Oh, you didn't know? Something about the closet monster, I think.
This ain't Monsters, Inc.
Closet monster, I think. Yeah, Monsters Inc. That's what I said. Pets are yum.
But he got a new job, her dad?
Maybe. Yeah, they're moving to the last house on the left.
What I love about it is that her father was so confident in the beginning of saying, Daddy's got credit cards and cash.
Yeah, credit cards and cash.
Doesn't matter what we're going to get into, I got it covered.
Yeah, No Face probably heard that and was like, this girl likes money. She's
There's
around money.
Some stuff that money can't fix.
Well, it's almost like a fresh start, right?
Yeah.
So I bet there's some hints in that first drive. Like something that shows a little absence or something, maybe. Maybe something to tie into that brother theory or...
He's got a fucking mustache. Oh, you mean about... she's laying down in the back seat. She wouldn't be able to
stretch
do that.
her legs, taking advantage of...
She pushed him in the river. Wanted that whole back seat to herself.
Yeah, that's like...
Now she's paying the price.
That's why she's the Page Master. You ever see The Good Son?
Close your book, would you?
You watch The Good Son?
Did you ever watch Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night?
Hell yeah. One of my favorites.
That's pretty scary. Watch that on mushrooms.
Movie?
Yeah.
Worth it.
The land where dreams and nightmares come true.
I remember back in the day seeing commercials for a bad Pinocchio movie, like an evil Pinocchio.
That's it.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if he was evil, but it was dark. It was pretty fucked up because of this land where all the kids are drinking out of this fountain, and the kids all sound like they smoke 1,000 cigarettes a day. Drink up, bub. And then even he gets too fucked up, and everything starts spinning. And then the Emperor of the Night is trying to get him to be a sideshow or something like that.
It's kind of the same situation as Spirited Away, where
A little
it's
bit.
another
It reminded
land
me of.
trying to get a job, and they're trying to control him, take him, that kind of thing.
Emperor of the Night. That just doesn't sound like it goes with Pinocchio.
It does though.
You gotta check it out.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is is this? I didn't find this to be overly scary of a film. I can see it fitting in with
Disney
I found
stuff.
fucking Fox and the Hound got a little snappy at some points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how I've always pictured showing Dante, Lion King. And this is on the fucking list.
Yeah.
I'll try not to swear while I show it to him, but...
The beginning's definitely spooky, though. Where the parents turn into pigs and
I had that whole thing in the back of my head. Because he was watching like 10 minutes of it. And I got a little screenshot, and it's actually I'm scared that she's saying to haiku at the start. And I put Japanese subtitles, me too, because it's like over his shoulder looking up at it. Might catch that on the Instagram later on, but yeah.
I think it translates properly with...
I would have loved to watch it when I was 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching deeper shit than this when I was 10 years old, so I really wish that it came across.
I'm surprised it took me so long to watch it. Like I said, it was on a whim, but, I watched My Neighbor Totoro so many times growing up that, after I watched this and then I realized they were connected within the same studio of animation, it's like...
Yeah.
It was just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to watch more of them. Because you want more of that animation style, so it's definitely a dragon I'll be chasing.
They chose specific scenes to embellish their animation creativity. You'll see like the flowers when she's going through that like aisle, and the flowers are kind of coming at you type of thing. Yeah. It's almost like, to me, it kind of speaks to the ingenuity that Disney was doing at the time with their multi-level framing for their film sets.
Yeah.
Through Bambi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're filming it and it's actually like hand-drawn levels of specific designs to make it give that appearance of the zoom effect.
And Ghost in the Machine, or Ghost in the Shell, did a lot of that kind of, those little animation flourishes to really sell things.
Yeah, we were going to do a thing on Ghost in the Cell, but you already watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched like the old version, and then they put out like an updated version, which was terrible.
What's the name on it? I can't remember.
No, not that one. Like an updated version of the cartoon.
Oh, they did?
Where they put basically like... They're like, if you like Beast Wars animation or fucking Reboot or something, now... all this beautiful anime has shitty CGI in it as well.
I think that's what kind of settles in with this movie, is that not only is the musical score just like taking you to an emotional level throughout it, but like obviously the organic film nature is something to be appreciated.
Oh yeah. I mean, I give it a little bit of a hard time, but I think it's like one of the most beautiful cartoons I've ever seen. What about you? Perfect Blue nicer?
No, not animation-wise, no. It has its own style. But maybe you guys should be the judge.
Yeah, true story. I'll watch it.
But, no, this stands above probably every anime film that I've seen. And, which everyone's picking up that I haven't seen an abundance of them. But this one definitely stands out and makes me very interested in knocking a couple off the list that you guys been putting together for me along the way.
Oh, yeah.
So here I come, Kiki.
Have you seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Here I come, Hal.
That's a joke.
I just did.
Is that
on the?
Like, what do you think the follow-up to this should be?
Howl's Moving Castle, #1. Yeah. Then My Neighbor Totoro, and then kind of go into the others and see what you like, type of thing. But I think those are my main three.
Is Howl's Castle and Totoro?
Yeah.
Over Kiki.
Yeah.
So you're telling me to leave Kiki?
I would say Kiki is genius in itself for sure.
You're telling me to leave Caitlin?
But I would say leave Kiki. Not Caitlin. Leave Kiki till like 4th type thing.
Okay, cool. Not on the podium.
What about Porco?
Porco Rosso can be watched at any time. With it knows.
I'm going to watch it first before Spirited Away.
Alright, boys. My dragon's about to turn into a river, so I think we got to call it at a, opposite of a konnichiwa.
Anything you'd like to promote since you're still awake?
Yeah. You did good, donkey. Put a little bit of a dent in the fucking $5 Hennigans.
A little bit of... No, man, I really appreciate it. And I think, this movie holds a special place in my heart for sure. I ended up watching it with my fiance, and her and I have come to love these Studio Ghibli movies. And then I found a prior connection, earlier in my life with these particular movies and Hayao Miyazaki, the director, and stuff like that. So I think it definitely speaks to me. And I think it would speak to most of the people that watch it. So I'm glad you guys took the time.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to push it forward.
I was pretty depressed that when I pulled up Bob's fucking DVD there, that the special features one was missing.
Yeah. Imagine getting 2 of the same disc. That'd piss you off even more.
Yeah, I feel like I got a 2 all right.
Imagine stealing a movie and not being happy with what was in the case.
Yeah. Guilty.
Yeah, fucking... Yeah. Yeah, you should be called out by that. Wish I could have done it.
It's like,
but honestly,
he bought True Romance and had 2 of the same disc in it.
Yeah, 2 disc ones.
Yeah,
imagine that. But yeah, we want Lomaz's hard drive emailed to us at 496 tired-eyed.
Wrapped in brown paper behind the box.
Nothing. I got nothing.
I'll be the hyena. You'll see.
Wish that was funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to enfilade you.
See, this is what we do. we just... Why do we bother?
What?
It's just to get that here.
We gotta take it back. So what were you just saying there?
Vulnerable to sweeping fire.
Came back.
Something about Adam.
So then we can just cut in right here.
What was the last thing you said?
I couldn't have done it without you. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna pass this forward. You were, what were you offended about? Yeah.
Try
again. No. I'm going through the stages. I'm going through the stages. You stole it. Stealers can't be wheelers.
Yeah, I stole it, but I watched on Netflix, which I pay for. So. Even Steven.
We want Lomez's hard drive.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him again, I guess. If only just to slap him like a pig daddy.
Well, I can't top that.
Yeah, you just like the way his little throat moves.
I do.
That's why I keep showing up.
You guys are judging my throats. I can't see yours. You guys is masked. Come on. Oh, there it is.
That's a neck, not a throat.
You don't even have an Adam's apple. What's the name on that?
Oh, it's there.
No, for real though. Hayao Miyazaki is coming out of retirement for one last film called How Do You Live?
Is this going to be in theaters?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You know what he's doing? No marketing. No other source of promotion. Strictly theater.
Speaking to our
tired masterminds way.
He's a tired egg.
Cheers to that.
Don't subscribe.